Hello guys, how you doing? It's live.
Channel mode 5 1415.
Hello.
1617192122 23 24 26 27.
This is Javo or MJ Thema 5.
Two, nine, three, two, three, 4, 5, 4.
Hello.
5, 6, 9, 1, 0. 1, 6. Function select. Enter. 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 Function select. Function select. CTCSS. Enter.
This is Javo or MJ Thema 5.
One, 7, 1, 9, 2, 0. Function select. CTCSS. CTCSS. Enter. Function select. ECS. Enter. Function select. Enter. Lamb select. Enter. Lamb select. Enter. Function select. Lamb select. Enter. Save mode. Function select. Box. Enter. Language select.
This is Javo MJ Thema 5. Hello.
comparing GMRS radios, and quite clearly on the BTEC website, this radio is listed to be a 2-watt radio. And about a half a dozen people came by the video and said, no, that's a 5-watt radio. That's a 5-watt radio. That's a 5-watt radio. Really? Even though BTEC's website lists as a 2-watt radio. Okay, let's test that today.
Shut up and sit down.
Ham Radio 2.0, where we do reviews, news, and how-tos of things that are new in two-way radio. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. I'm also WRFK311 in the GMRS world. And it's been a while since I've used the GMRS license. I've been monitoring one of the local repeaters here. Not much activity on it. But one of these days, I'm going to actually get some QSOs done on video. Baofeng Tech, who is in Arlington, South Dakota. They are a U.S.-based company. In a nutshell, they take Baofeng radios, they upgrade them, they change them, they make them better, and then they sell them through their website and also on Amazon. And if you have a problem with one of their radios or a question or need support, you call a support line in South Dakota, not overseas. So obviously right now, I should have appealed to all of you who are concerned with buying Chinese radios that have to call China for tech support or to ask questions or whatever. So that should assuage any type of hesitation to buy radios. But, I mean, these are not just imported Baofengs and sold and then supported in the USA. They actually do a lot of work to upgrade the receivers and upgrade the quality of radio that comes out of China. So Baofeng Tech is a great new sponsor of this show. I want to thank them for believing in the show and for allowing me to review their products. This is the BTEC GMRS V1, and it is built on the platform of the UV82. They've got several models of UV82. They've got the original UV82 with a 5-watt dual-band HT for ham radio, the UV82 HP, which is a 7 or 8-watt HT, the UV82 Charlie, which is a commercial Part 90 type accepted radio for the commercial band that is made by BTEC, Baofeng Tech, and carried by a couple different vendors, I think. You can get those on Amazon. This is the GMRS radio, which obviously is just going to be monoband since it's just the GMRS band. If you're wondering about GMRS and what it is, right there, no, it's backwards. Right there, I'll post a video about ham radio versus GMRS. So I have both.
Hey, I'm Talon, and this is Rumpus, and I'm going to show you how to start an online t-shirt business. Let's go. First, go to...
Welcome, folks. This is United GMRS channel owner, also with a couple other owners and moderators. This is for the United G. I've got the hand making. When you do this, I'm showing you this so when you go to hook it to your computer, you know what to do.
You figured out what a repeater is and when to use a repeater and when not to use a repeater, but you don't know how to make the repeater work? No fear. Randy's here to save the day again. I'm going to show you how easy it is to program a KG805 or KG905G GMRS handheld radio to use a repeater. I'm going to do it very quickly and efficiently. I'm not going to waste your time because I know that your time is very valuable to you. I'm not going to show some stupid fancy intros and fancy music like those other YouTubers. Your time as a viewer is too important to me. Now, of course, it's easiest to use the software to program your GMRS radios. I'm going to be using the KG805 and the KG905G from Wuxin Ocean, but neither of these radios are yet compatible with Chirp, so you'd have to use the Ocean or Wuxin software, which does not run on a Mac or Linux or Chromebook. Some people don't even have a computer anymore. Computers are old-fashioned. A lot of us just use phones and iPads. It's okay. Or if you're out in the field adventuring, not sitting in your basement, and you need to program a repeater on the fly, the only way to do it is on the keypad. And these don't even have a keypad. I'm going to show you how to do it. And don't worry, it's actually very easy. The moron like me can figure it out. You'll be able to figure it out eventually. You might have to rewind and watch the video a few times, but you'll get it. And of course, to do any of this, you need a GMRS license. You don't need to leave a comment saving us all to tell us that we have to get a GMRS license. We know that. And even though I'm showing you how to do this on a KG905 and KG805, the basics are the same for pretty much any real FCC Part 95E GMRS radio. The steps are basically the same. The menus may look different, but it's all the same. Very close to the same, almost the same. The first thing you're going to need to program a repeater onto your radio is a repeater. You need to find a repeater in your range, in your neighborhood. Usually that means within 20 to 75 miles, depending on your terrain. A great place to find repeaters in your area is mygmrs.com. Repeater owners that want people to know about their repeater will usually put it there. That's the de facto place to find GMRS repeaters. Not all repeater owners want their repeaters to be used by the world, and so they may keep it on the down low. So to find those, you can sometimes join a local GMRS or ham radio club, or just talk to some of your friends that you find when you're out adventuring. You see them talking on a radio or on a repeater, ask them what they're using. Ask them nicely, they may tell you. But bear in mind, not all repeaters are public, and you just may never get the information that you need to use some repeaters. Before you can program the repeater into your radio, you need a few bits of information. The first thing you need is the repeater channel. On a real GMRS radio, and by that I mean a GMRS FCC Part 95 compliant radio, not something like one of those Bofwang radios that we all know are illegal to use on GMRS. If you didn't know that, check that video. Find out how long you go to jail if you use a Baofeng radio, a UV5R, to talk on GMRS. The GMRS repeater channels are all standardized. There's 8 of them. Unfortunately, different radios display them differently. You've got 22 GMRS channels, and then once you go past that on most radios, you'll see repeater channels 1 through 8, or sometimes it'll be GMRS channels 23 through 30. Sometimes they may list them, who knows how. So what you'll need is the frequency or the channel, which you'll find, for example, at mygmrs.com. But because different radios list the channels differently and it can get confusing, I'll put the channel listings and the frequencies that you may see listed in the information section below. And to make it even more confusing, some places, for example, mygmrs.com, will list 2 different frequencies. You only need to worry about one, so I'll list both of those frequencies and the corresponding different types of channel listings that you may see in the information section below. All you got to do is find one of those and match them up, then you'll know what channel you need to use. Some website listings, or if somebody tells you the information you need for a GMRS channel, they may include the offset. I know, it gets confusing, bear with me, because repeaters use 2 frequencies. There's an input frequency that you talk to the repeater on, and an output frequency that the repeater transmits on. In GMRS, it's all standardized. You don't even need to think about the offset. It's always +5 megahertz. Don't even write that down. You don't need to know that. It's not going to be on the test. But for some unknown reason, mygmrs.com often will list the frequency and the offset. All you need to do is find one of those frequencies on my list in the information section. That's all you need to worry about. So don't get hung up or confused on the offset. Ignore it. Doesn't matter. It does matter, but you can ignore it. Don't write it down. You're not going to need to enter it anywhere or do anything with it. The other bit of information that you'll need before you can connect to a transmitter is the tone. A tone is just a little code, a signal that you program in your radio so that when you transmit, you can't hear it, but the receiver can hear it, and it won't allow you to connect to that repeater unless you're using that tone. That's just a way of keeping people driving by from connecting to and using the repeater. Some repeaters don't require a tone. Wide open to the public, anybody can use it. So if that's the case, all you need to do is go to the channel that repeater is on and just start using it. Usually though, they do have a tone. So for demonstration, I'm gonna set up a repeater which is on GMRS repeater number 2, or on some other radios, it might be shown as GMRS repeater 16. So the way the number ranges work on most radios, GMRS channels 1 through 22, repeater channels 23 through 30, those 8 channels set aside for repeaters. So some will call the GMRS repeaters channels 23, 24 through 30. Others will call it GMRS repeater, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3 through 8. Others, when they use channel 15 or 16, because the repeaters share the transmitting frequency with GMRS channels 15 through 22. Again, it gets confusing. You don't have to remember this. It will not be on the test. Don't write it down. But that's the logic behind why some radios will call it GMRS repeater 15, GMRS repeater 16, and so on. For the repeater I'm setting up, GMRS channel 23, or repeater number 16, or repeater number 2, depending on the radio. Frequency is 462575. That's the output frequency. The input frequency is 467575. So all I needed to do was find one of those two frequencies, check with the list of channels and frequencies I put below. Now I know what channel I'm going to use on my radio. So here are my two radios, my KG905G and my KG805G. Affiliate links below. Pay no attention to this high quality soundproofing material that's part of my high budget YouTube studio. Just pay no attention to that. First thing I needed to figure out was what channel I was using. And I did that by getting the frequency. One of the ones listed on mygmrs.com was 462575. So I went to my listing that I've put in the information section below. And on this radio, that corresponds to repeater channel number 16. The repeater that I'm using has a transmit CTCSS tone of 67. The repeater I'm going to set up does not have a receive.
CC.
Receive tone. Some repeaters also use a receive tone. This one doesn't. So the first thing I need to do is go into the menu settings and find where to enter the CTCSS tone. I go into the menus and I scroll through until I find the one for CTCSS, transmit DTC. On this radio, when you read the manual, which of course you've done, right, you will see that that's where you enter your transmit tone. So I hit menu again. Right now it's set to off, and I'm just going to hit the down arrow key to go through the tones, and then using the up and down arrow, I can scroll through all the different tones. This particular repeater uses tone number 67. Hit menu again. And that's it, I saved it. I can double check it just by hitting menu again and looking. I can see now that it's set at 67. Now on the KG805G, oh, she sounds so nice. The steps are basically the same. I'm going to go to the channel that the repeater is on, channel 24. In this case, it's listed as channel 24 on the radio. I've already entered a custom name. Show you how to do that in a minute. So I need to find the transmit tone menu option. So I hit menu. Oh, you'll see the Roger beep option. Always make sure you turn that on because the ham radio guys love that. Make sure a Roger beep is on. Write that one down. Okay, there's my receive CTC setting. I'm looking for transmit. Transmit CTC setting. So I'm going to hit menu. And I'm going to go through the list. It was already set to 67. Normally it would show as off. So I go through the list, hit 67, menu again, and it's saved. I can confirm that just by hitting menu again. It's already set, and that's it. So now let's set a a nicer name so that it makes sense, like what I have on the KG805G. I had set a custom name. So I make sure I'm on the repeater channel that I want to customize the name, hit menu. I'm going to scroll through and look for the name, which I think is item number 16 or 17. There we go, channel name. I hit enter. And I use the up and down key to change the letter. And on this radio, I use the knob to go to the next character. And I know that because I read it in the manual.
This is OMJ3.
Menu to save.
This
now
is
I've got my custom name.
OMJ315.
If that repeater had a receive tone, I would just follow the same steps except put it in for the receive tone. All right, so now we want to check to see if it works. How do you know if you're hitting the repeater or not? I'm going to go to that channel that I've set up. Now this channel happens to be shared with the local Chick-fil-A, best chicken sandwiches you can get. They're not using the repeater, they're using that shared frequency. Remember earlier I mentioned that the repeater shares channels. In this case, repeater number 24 shares channel 16. That's why on some radios it would say repeater number 16. So if you're listening on channel 16 and somebody's using that repeater, you would hear them talking. You wouldn't be able to talk back to them because your radio is not configured, well, unless your radio is configured to use that repeater, such as we've done here. So to test the repeater, basically what I'm going to do is key up and identify myself. And then as I let go of the transmit button, the repeater will transmit back. You will hear a sound when you let go of the transmit button. So to demonstrate, first I'll transmit on a channel, regular GMRS channel, simplex channel, as the experts call it. That's not configured to use a repeater. So you can see how it sounds. So I'm going to hit the press to talk. That beep beep was my Roger beep, because as I mentioned earlier, the ham radio guys, you see, they love that. But that's not the tone that you're listening for. What you'll hear, other than the beep beep, nothing, no air, no static, no nothing. So now when I go to the repeater channel, now you could just key up and then listen for the sound back. That's a no-no. Oh, the ham guys will go crazy. And a lot of the repeater owners don't like you to do that. So I'm going to key up the repeater. I'm going to identify myself with my GMRS call sign. I'm going to edit that out because you don't need to know my GMRS call sign. And I'll say I'm testing the repeater, and then we'll listen back. Repeater check. I'm going to try another repeater. Some will come back with an ID. So let's try, this is just another repeater to give you an idea what it sounds like so that I know I'm hitting it. Repeater check.
Repeater check.
If you heard there was a little bit of Morse code beep and then that static click. Repeater check. I'm going to show you what it sounds like on a different radio that doesn't have the Roger beep configured. I forgot to turn the Roger beep on my KG805G. I got to remember to do that because the ham radio guys love the Roger beep. So I'm just going to key up, identify, I'm going to say repeater check, and then we're going to listen for that tone back. Repeater check. That's all there is to it. It's really not that difficult. After you go through the menu a few times and get the feel for how it works, it gets pretty easy. There is no lingo or rules or anything you have to abide by when you're using the repeater other than identifying yourself at the end of your transmission, or if you're in a long conversation with somebody, identify yourself at least once every 15 minutes. You don't have to use any Roger Dodger codes or anything like that. Some people will tell you that it is against the rules to use codes like 10.4 and 10.20 and 10.9. That's not true. There's no rules. You can say whatever you want, however you want to say it. No potty language, because children are allowed to be listening on GMRS legally. So basically, don't be a dickhead. We're done here. Hopefully you've learned a few things. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, or if you're unclear on anything, leave a comment below. Stupid comments will be pinned to the top for everybody to marvel at. And I don't mean stupid like, oh, I'm not sure I should know this or you shouldn't know this kind of question because you have a actual question. That's not stupid. But what I mean by stupid comments, you know, you'll look.
This is
video's been up for a few days.
This is OMJ315.
So leave the comment below. I'll try to answer it. I'll do the best that I can. If I'm not able to answer it, somebody else will come along. They'll probably get it wrong, in which case I'll have to come by and correct them. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you on the trail.
Does your plug-in fade too fast? Try Febreze Fade to Fi Plug. It has built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days.
Enter. Function select. CTCSS enter. CTCSS enter. CTCSS enter. CTCSS enter. CTCSS enter. Function select. CTCS enter. Function select. CTCSS enter. Function select. Function select. CTCSS enter. CTCSS enter. CTCSS.
This is double RMJ315.
If I've learned anything, it's that any problem caused by a tank is easily solvable with a tank.
Enter.
Prove me wrong. Today I'm going to be comparing the Ocean KG805G GMRS radio to the Ocean KG905G GMRS radio. Now I know that you could just go to buy2wayradios.com and read the specs yourself and compare them yourself, but we all know that most YouTube viewers are too lazy, don't have the attention span to do that. I don't mean you, I mean all those other YouTube viewers. You are my favorite YouTube viewer. As with all my videos, I will keep this video short and to the point. I will not wander off topic because I know I want to show you how important your time is to me. I would never waste your time by wandering off topic like that. So let's get started. But first, allow me to wander off topic. If you've watched my videos before, you know that on this channel, comments, stupid comments, know-it-all comments, dickhead comments, comments answering questions that nobody asked, get pinned to the top for everybody to enjoy, more importantly, everybody to laugh at. And when that happens, you may not know this, is that when your stupid comment gets pinned to the top for everybody to make fun of you, you do not get to reply. You can type in a reply, but it gets deleted. So when you leave a comment on this channel, you get one chance. So think twice, because you will not be able to defend yourself or justify your stupidity or justify trying to make yourself look smarter to everybody. One chance. Now, many times when that comment, that stupid comment, that know-it-all comment, that arrogant comment, that dickhead comment, when it gets pinned, I will leave a comment and reply and call you out on it. I do that less and less now because other viewers do a pretty good job of calling out the stupid people. And it's funny how so many people that leave those stupid comments, those golden pinned comments that are like stupidity gold, how so many of them get so angry and offended when somebody has the gall to reply back to them with the same dickheadedness that they put in their original post. It's like they can go around and say whatever they want, but if somebody replied, oh, how dare you reply? I will never come back to this channel again. Any pushback at all, and they shatter. Their world comes apart. It's quite entertaining. Now, thanks to one of my channel members, not a subscriber, a member. If you're not sure what a member is, if you're not sure what joining the channel means, check that link. One of these members sent in hidden camera footage. Somebody leaving a comment actually left their webcam on so we can see their reaction, what they did when they read the response that they weren't expecting. And somebody called them out on their stupid comments. Let's take a look. Enough of making fun of the morons, because they're going to start posting comments that were mean. You're so mean. Why can't I say whatever I want without you making fun of me? So today I'm going to be comparing KG805G to the KG905G. Both very, very popular radios, both often sold out and unavailable for long periods of time. These are very popular radios. All GMRS radios are popular right now. These two, extremely popular. So if you go to purchase one at buy2wayradios.com, affiliate links below. If it says it's back ordered, don't wait and come back a week later and try to buy it then. You need to purchase it. You need to put it in your basket and order it. That way they will hold yours for you, and when it comes in, they'll ship it. If you wait, then all the other people that were smart and put their order in and paid for it will get theirs, and you're still going to be waiting because they're just going to sell out again. Very popular radios. So let's go over why. Why are these radios so popular? Now, I have used both of these radios a lot. Unlike many other YouTube channels who get one sent to them and just read the box and then talk about it, never actually use it. The KG805 was my primary radio for quite a while, and then I got the KG905, which is now my everyday carry radio. And I don't mean I carry it everywhere I go when I go to the grocery store. And I'm not some kind of socially rejected freak. I mean when I go out off-roading or hiking or doing other manly outdoor activities. The 905G is my primary radio now. So does that mean that the KG905G is better than the KG805G? I'm not going to say which one is better, because what's better to me may not be better to you. Only you can decide what's better. Don't believe those YouTubers trying to preach to you what's better, because better is a personal choice. So I'm going to go over the details of each of the two radios, and then you can decide. You're going to have to make the decision which is better for you. Now, I've got a list because I don't want to miss anything. There's a lot of details, a lot of stuff. It's probably why you're watching this video, because there's so much stuff about both radios, you're confused. Both the KG805 and the KG905G are FCC Part 95 compliant GMRS radios. Both radios require a license, a GMRS license, different from ham license, if you're going to transmit on them. You can use either of them and listen to anything you want. There's no law against listening yet. If you don't yet have your GMRS license, it currently costs $70. It's very easy to get. You buy it just like a fishing license. The price will be going down. Ignore all those other YouTubers that say it's going to be going down, the price will be dropping today or next week. Nobody knows when it's going to happen. So just bite the bullet. Pay your $70. It's good for 10 years. There's a link here. Step-by-step instructions at the notarubicon.com website, how to buy your GMRS license. Paying for that GMRS license allows you to use our free airwaves. Both radios transmit on their highest setting at 5 watts. Both radios have virtually the same distance. You're not going to talk further on one than you are on the other one. They're basically, transmitting-wise, identical. Both are repeater capable. Both support split tones, for those that use repeaters that use split tones, which are very rare. Both have the super heterodyne circuitry, which means it's a real radio circuit, real radio circuitry, classic radio circuitry. It's a much better quality than less expensive radios that have a whole radio on a single little chip, an SoC. So they receive better, they're more sensitive, they transmit better, some say farther, I'm not sure. The most important thing, the biggest thing that I noticed between a super heterodyne circuit type radio, which is what the more expensive radios and ham radios use. Biggest difference that I see is that the squelch actually works. Many of those cheaper radios, they have a squelch knob and you turn it, it just barely works at all. One very important thing is that both radios have a Roger beep that you can enable. The Roger beep is what lets the ham radio operators that are listening in on GMRS for some unknown reason, lets them know that you're serious about your two-way radio communications. So if you get either of these, or if you have one already, make sure you go in, enable the Roger beep, let those ham radio operators know that you're serious about using your radio. Both have a 1-year warranty, and both are designed specifically as GMRS UHF radios only. The KG805G costs $99. The KG905G costs $119. Both are available only at buy2wayradios.com. Affiliate links below. The KG805G stores 128 channels. The 905G stores 256 channels. Now, there's a lot of questions that I see about the channels. Why would a 22-channel GMRS radio, both of which these
This is WOMJ315.
2526. Function select. Enter. Function select. Lamb select. Enter. 2830. 1 2 3 2 1 2 6 8 9 5.
It was some other baby bird, well, like I say, learning how to fly, and unfortunately, this baby bird learning to fly, hit one of the glass doors and plump fell to the ground, and a couple seconds later, here comes a seagull and eats the baby bird. But it was not a baby seagull, it was not another seagull.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, sometimes nature's kind of cruel, you think. And I'm sure that that rabbit was scared to heck that I saw too that day, and I thought about chasing the bird away, but I thought, well, it's part of nature, It takes care of itself. Get too many rabbits, the predators take care of them, the predators got to eat, they take care of everything else, so it's a balance of nature.
How true, how true.
Justin was talking about how that bird came to him. I found that on occasions where I've been out hunting back in the woods up north where it's quiet and peaceful, sitting real still, I've had the little chickadees. You've probably seen those things with the little crust on gray. Land on branches. I like to sit underneath a tree for seclusion, like a pine tree or whatever. I had them land about a foot away from my face, sitting on branches, looking at me, trying to figure me out. As long as she sat still, they weren't afraid. So, and squirrels too. I had squirrels come down the tree. I look up, and he's about a foot above my head, looking at me. So, it's kind of amazing how those animals will become inquisitive, and sometimes they're not really afraid unless they feel threatened.
Exactly.
Function select. 2 3 2 4.
Are you enjoying this cool weather?
Function select.
Yeah, it's much more comfortable compared to the hot and humid weather.
I guess we're going to get a little touch of it again, but it's not supposed to be as humid. I think tomorrow they're talking 77.
Function select.
Sunday is supposed to be around 80, and then next week take a little standby here in case somebody else would like to hop in here. Good talking to you, Paul, and maybe we'll catch you a little bit later. I'll be up for a little bit yet, but I'm going to take a little break here, so I just say good talking with you always. WRKH 925.
Enter.
Okay, sounds good, Rick. You have a good one. W2JB 506. Probably.
This is
If you haven't already,
WOMJ315.
enjoy that nightly cigar and whiskey on the rocks.
Function select.
CPCSS. Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I got about a third of a cigar and a half a glass of whiskey left, so when that's done, I'll probably get the sack. But you got me figured out, Paul.
Oh, no. Well, I listen enough out here, so, and I heard you talk about that several times.
This is WOM.
Well, the combination
This
is
is
nice and relaxing, at least it is for me anyhow, so
WOMJ315.
helps me sleep at night. Anyhow, have a good night. I'll talk to you later. RKH 925.
Function select. CPCSS enter.
Okay, sounds good. W2JB 506.
Enter. CPCSS enter. CPCSS enter. 252.
Hello.
2526. 2524. Function select. ECS. Enter. Function select. ECS. Enter.
Hello. This is WOMJ315.
Function select. Enter. Function select. Enter. Function select. Lamb select. Function select. Enter. 2 5. 2 5. 1 2. Scan begin. One zero. 2 7.
This is WOMJ315.
Function select. Function select. CPCS enter. Function select. CPCSS. Enter. CPCS. Two, 1, 2, 3. Function select. CPCS. Enter. CPCSS. Enter. select. CTCSS enter. Function select. Language select. Function select. Function select. Enter. And function select. Save mode. Enter. Squelch level. Enter. Lamb select. Enter. Enter. Function select. Enter. Function select. Enter. 2 9 2 3
Hello.
2 4 function select. Enter. 2 4 2 4 function select. Enter. Enter. CTCSS. Function select. Squelch level. Enter. Enter.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Yes. Yes.
Two, five. Function select. Language select.
WRHY 383 mobile.
Let's see this one. This one. Hello. Case. hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Function select. Function select. Function select. Enter. Frequency channel mode. Function select. Enter.
Hello, hello, hello. Press 1. Test 1. Hello, hello.
Function select. Enter.
Test 1. Java RMJ315. Repair, check. Test 1. Repair, check.
Frequency mode. Frequency mode.
Check. Check. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. this one. Hello. Hello guys, how y'all doing? I'm just chilling right now. So what y'all are doing? I'm just doing mine. More yourself. Do you have any questions to ask me? Hola, ¿cómo estás? At my home, weddles. Welcome guys. I'm on my Facebook,
So,
Channel mode.
Okay. Well, welcome back to my channel. How you doing there? Today we're doing a drop test video for the Wouxun KG905G GMRS radio. This is my favorite radio. It is the best radio I've ever owned. It does have that Bofang UV5R feel. So it's probably in an aluminum tub and design. But even though it's my favorite radio, I owe it to you to do a drop test on it. It does have an IP rating for water and dust proof, but it doesn't have the most important test, the DT rating. But we're going to take care of that right now. So it's going to be dropped from 3 feet as if it came off my belt, and 5 feet as if it was up here and
strangely enough, with a battery replacer that's hooked to the batteries that are in. So of course, after everything's done, don't forget to put your big block back and dust off the solar panel a little bit. Now the first problem I had with this,
so for the first and foremost, you're going to need Chirp. Be sure you go to track.chirp.danplanet.com/whatever. So this website here, it'll be chirp.danplanet.com, and then get to the download section, click on whatever option you need, and then once you've downloaded the version, pick the recommended, install it. That's a whole nother video. Now, once you have Chirp, you can go to this website. I'll have these linked in the description, but that will give you this page. Now, what this tells you is the FRS channels and the GMRS channels. So, you can see the GMRS channels are limited to 5 watts from 1 through 7 and half a watt from 8 through 14, but then 15 through 22 allows 50 watts. And if you get into private tones, PL tones, private channels, whatever, that's probably why you're here anyway, for airsoft programming. We'll get to that in a second, but you'll have your frequencies or the actual tone number, say like on the Midland walkie-talkies or Cobras, etc. You'll pick your channel, say 15 over here on the left, and that corresponds to this frequency in a Baofeng, and then any of these tones can be selected. So in a cheap walkie-talkie, you'll have the big number 15, and then you can select a little number next to it, say like 1 through 38, as you see here, and what that corresponds to in the Baofeng is a frequency. So the frequency tone is the part that is confusing for most people, and that's why we do it through Chirp, because these frequencies will not stick after a reboot. So as you can see here, I've set up the Baofeng and chirp. The way to do that is connect your USB to the Baofeng, come up here to the top, hit radio, download from radio. Once you've downloaded it from radio, that'll be this. There'll probably be no channels filled out. It'll all be empty, blank, 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 because that's how they come from the factory. If it's not, you can go into the settings on the Baofeng itself and reset to factory settings and then download from radio again. Then you should have an empty sheet here. Go ahead and click on radio, import from stock config, and then US, FRS, and GMRS channels. When you hit that, it's going to bring up a whole list, and then you can select all the channels you want. I deselect the repeaters because I don't use them, and then I usually deselect the FRS channels and the GMRS channels up to 15. I only want 15 through 22. The reason being is I can set up 15 through 22, and while that's only 7 channels, we can again go through and set up these PL tones so we have a private channel. So I could have a 15-15, a 15-18, a 15-22, a 15, whatever. And there's so many possibilities of channels to just use 15 through 22 and then add on a PL tone, and you can save those. Now, how do you do that? Here's the tricky part. You have to select all the channels that you want to have the same PL tone. If you only want this channel to have PL tone 10, which is 94.8, say for airsoft reasons, I can show you by pulling up here, open, we have GMRS and airsoft. So over here, you'll see like I've programmed TAN Platoon 1, Squad 1, and that corresponds to 4625625, which is channel 18 on GMRS, and then with a side frequency, a PL tone of 67 hertz. So if we look over here at 67 hertz, that would be a PL tone 1. So if you were trying to play on TAN Platoon 1, Squad 1, and you wanted your frequency on your little cheap Midland walkie-talkie to work, you would go to channel 18 for your big number and channel 1 for the little side number. And that would put you on the TAN Platoon 1, Squad 1 frequency. And you can see here I've got all of those set up. TAN Platoon 1, Squad 1, Squad 2, Squad 3. Then you go to TAN Platoon 2, Green Platoon 1, etc. And it goes through all of the different channels, and I've already programmed them with the PL tone. And here's how you do that. If you see here, you can select any of these channels and right click properties, and then in the properties you're going to have this guy, tone mode, TSQL, that's tone squelch mode. And let's say we want this to have a tone squelch mode 13. So 13 corresponds to 103.5. We're going to scroll to 103.5. I believe we set both of these to that, and then we hit OK. Now you'll see that this is set to TSQL just like the others. So GMRS 19 462650 with a tone squelch of 103.5, which means side number 13. So we would have a 19 for the big number on the cheap walkie-talkies and a 13 for the little number. And that's really all you're doing. You're going in and programming all of these to have the tone squelch set up the way you want it. See, all of these guys have the same tone squelch, so we can select them all by clicking the first one and then hold shift and click the last one. We have all the 67s. We're going to hit properties, and you see, even though they're grayed out, tone squelch is selected, 67 is selected on both. Cross mode is tone, and you don't mess with anything else except for power. I put on high because, again, you can go up to 50 watts on GMRS channels 15 through 22, and these Baofengs are only putting out about 8 watts max. I think a guy tested them, and even on 8 watts they were only getting like 4.7 transmit. So it's a lot of commercial advertising, but this is how you do it. You select the channel you want to change, right click it, properties, change the tone mode to TSQL. That's tone squelch mode. And then you set your tone and tone squelch to match whatever number over here you want. So 21-19, you'd set this to 127.3 right here for tone and tone squelch. Right there. And that's it. Once you have everything set the way you want it, you go up to radio and you upload to radio if you've already selected.
What the?
USAA is made for the safe pilots, like Matt, who can come to a stop with barely a...
Hi, I'm Faith Hanna, Kilo Delta 3 Zulu, and welcome to hamradio.world. We're starting our etiquette video series.
Because of the abstraction.
YZI. Have a video here on an item I want to show you about. A lot of people are asking about how to make a simple repeater system using Bofeng handhelds. This is the most inexpensive and easiest way to do this. This is a repeater interface designed by Bofeng for Bofeng hand radios to transmit. Going through this radio, that's KJ4 YZI test. Alright, you can
Emergency broadcast.
We're sorry. All circuits are...
that I have with me, and demonstrate the ADS SR1 simplex repeater. I've done previous videos about the simplex repeater in the past. Radios that you buy with that rubber antenna have absolutely no gain. In fact, there's a loss. And I've turned the power down to about 10 watts. We don't need full power for this demonstration. Connected to the ADS SR1 simplex repeater here, produced by Argent Power Supply. Again, I have the Ocean radio. Trigger the repeater. That is actually going to have one of those CTCSS tones before the repeater will activate. So I'll do a quick demonstration how this works here. I'm going to use the Ocean radio, and how the simplex repeater works is I transmit into the radio. The radio passes that transmission to the simplex repeater, which digitally records that audio, and when I'm done transmitting, this box will key or make this radio transmit, and it will repeat that message. So here we go for the local test, and then we'll go off the mountain and show you how this works from 10 miles away. This is K testing the simplex repeater. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Testing the simplex repeater.
This is testing the simplex repeater. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Testing the simplex repeater.
Okay, so what just happened there is I transmitted with the handheld into the space station, digitally recorded by the simplex repeater, and then the simplex repeater repeated that transmission that I made with the handheld out over the air. So what's going to happen is when I get downtown, I'm going to be over that ridge line over there, and I'll transmit up to this base station antenna, and it will record that through the base station on the poor man or simplex repeater and rebroadcast it. So I'll be down in town in that valley, and I won't have near the amount of coverage I would from this location. So I'm going to transmit up from the valley up to this antenna, this base station here, and I'm going to get the advantage of being at this location and repeating that transmission as far as the eye can see above all these ridge lines. And if I had the radio at full power, this would probably go 100 miles. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and then when we get downtown, I'll show you how this works. Okay guys, got off the mountain here, down here at the river, the south branch of the Potomac River, cutting through Hampshire County, West Virginia. And we'll do a quick check of the simplex repeater before we get through town. This is K testing the simplex repeater. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1.
This is testing the simplex repeater. 1 2 3 4 5 5 54321.
So we can still hit the simplex repeater. We're down here in the valley at the river, transmitting all the way up there to the mountain up there, and the mountain's repeating that for us with the poor man's repeater or the ADS SR1 repeater. Okay guys, we're at the restaurant and we're going to check the simplex repeater here. We're about 9 miles from the retreat location, and we'll go ahead and call into the ocean radio and see if that repeater can pick us up from 9 miles away. This is K testing the simplex repeater 12345 54321. There you have it, guys. That's the ADS SR1 simplex repeater, or the poor man's repeater, set up at the retreat location, providing enhanced radio communications paired up with the ocean radio. And as always, thank you for watching my video and subscribing to my channel. This has been the Comms Prepper with a field test of the poor man's repeater.